Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is a Candid Conversation. Brought to you with the righteous indignation and anger and fury and vitriol that Candy's going to bring.
No, okay, God.
So the other day I made a post, and usually on my post I put them on TikTok, then the next day I put that post on YouTube. And on YouTube, I get some Christians that come into my commentary. And on this video that we're going to refer to today, let me see what I got. I try to pull it up to see which one exactly was. It was talking about the rainbow from last week's podcast. And in there I was kind of talking about, of course it's not going to give me anything. Basically, I was talking about the rainbow and how, what's the better message? Is it the LGBTQ message or is it the Christian message? Is it the God destroying all the earth, destroying humanity and saying, oh, I'm sorry, I won't ever flood you again, but maybe I'll burn you or destroy you in earthquakes and fiery storms, but never a flood.
Yay.
That message, or the LGBTQ message of inclusiveness, diversity, acceptance, which is more Christ-like. And of course, and I get it, it riles up the Christian base, which then I got this message back. So I'm going to read this and I'll let you react as I read it. I have
my glasses on to read it.
So as I go, you go ahead and
interject.
Interject as needed.
All right, fine.
It says, friend. Very good way to start, you know, when you...
Sure, they view you as your friend, but keep going.
That right there is so...
condescending?
Yes, right off the bat. And first when I read that, I was like, oh, God, buckle up. Here we go. I'm going to get preached to. I think that you either don't know Scripture or you're purposely misrepresenting it. The reason why God flooded the earth is because of the great amount of violence, and men's minds were consumed with wickedness all the time.
Okay, stop there. Yes, that is what it says in there, right? Because men had become so wicked, they were killing each other, blah, blah, blah. But when God created everything, he said, it's very good.
Yes.
How did it get so corrupt so freaking quick? Like,
this is
the
two
devil
generations,
still existed.
Right? Or no?
It's not very many. It's like maybe 10 or so.
Yeah.
But it's like shortly after Adam and Eve, then, I mean, they so much so that they could write all the people on down to Noah, right?
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that it got so wicked that people were just like going crazy, killing each other, like constantly. Okay. And he created them with the ability to do this. So all of a sudden his solution is, I'm going to drown them all.
Well, it's not only that, okay, because he created them but he gave them this free will. And then he created this temptation in the garden because they were living perfectly great.
Because he was going to have, I mean, the way I was taught it, Jesus was with him at the beginning. Jesus was always supposed to be a savior. So the whole plan was from the beginning to send Jesus to die on the cross, to pay for the sin that he knew he created the opportunity and wanted us to do so that Jesus could be a savior. Otherwise, Jesus couldn't be a savior.
It's like
crazy.
The scam in Office Space where they were supposed to only take 1/100th of a cent on every transaction and ended up taking 1 cent on every. It worked too fast, man. God's plan worked way too fast, man. It's only a few thousand years.
How did it get so bad so quick?
It's like 800 years. We got to destroy it all.
Flush it down.
Burn down the office. Fire. But he created this whole problem himself.
I know.
This is all back on him.
It's his problem, but he's going to, we're consumed with the wickedness all the time. All the time. Okay.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, man was. All right. So I'll continue on. God does not need to prove anything to us in order for us to love our neighbor the same way that we love ourselves.
Okay. That's just seems placed weird. Like, why did he jump to God does not need to prove anything to us?
I haven't told you all the responses that came back today yet.
In order for us to love our neighbor in the same way that we love ourselves. Okay. Thank you. Move on.
Yeah. So
I don't understand how that's connecting to like, okay,
it's just kind of thrown in there out of nowhere.
God doesn't need to prove
and
anything.
maybe
He can do whatever he wants, basically,
and
is what
maybe
he's
this
saying.
person's seen some of my other videos because I'm very big about, in order to love others, you need to love yourself first and move out.
Maybe.
I might be giving them way too much credit. So anyways, we'll continue on.
Okay.
There is an easy way to identify a false teaching, religion, or belief.
Okay, what is it?
It is always based on satisfying our human desires for power, lust, greed, hate, pride, etc. And this is what many churches and religions do.
I would agree.
Very much so. That's the first time I was reading that, and before I even got to that church and religion, I was like, oh, it sounds like church and religions to me. Then this is where it throws Candy's panties in a big old bunch, and mine too. This is also what the LGBT movement does.
Okay, tell me, what does it do?
It captures young men and women and leads them into a life of uncontrolled lust,
my God, okay.
sinful speech, and hatred towards anything decent or good.
What? What in the hell is he imagining?
So apparently in this guy's worldview, if you are LGBT, you automatically have uncontrolled lust. So you are fucking anything and everything you possibly can.
That's probably how he thinks, even though it's mostly straight people that I think have done that.
In all honesty, think about your religious time and when you were full immersed in Christian. That was kind of what was taught. These guys are...
Yeah, just that there's completely perverse and they'll do
and there's
anything.
No control.
And even when they call it a lifestyle, I'm like, a lifestyle? It's not like a lifestyle. It's not like there's a straight life. We all live very differently, but we live similarly at the same time. But it's just like...
They just think they're banging nonstop.
Yeah, they think that's all they think of when they think of LGBTQ people. It's just they're
nonstop.
Thinking of sex and how they're having
all they're doing it.
Yeah, even though... straight people are having weirder sex a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, keep going. So
then...
And toward anything decent or good. There's people that love each...
Hold on. Let's break it down. Sinful speech. So apparently the LGBTQ is...
saying love and accept one another is sinful.
Is sinful speech all the time. They have nothing good to say. And hatred towards anything decent or good. So they're flying in the face... What's decent and good? Christians and God, and they're flying in the face of this Christian and God.
Yeah, because I'm assuming this is a he, but it could be a she. I don't know.
I don't know.
Or it could be a they.
I purposely left their name out so no one would go after them.
Okay, so like decent towards anything decent or good.
Hatred towards it.
Yeah, hatred towards it, which their assumption of decent and good is not being LGBTQ, right? Which that is not what LGBTQ people are pushing. And not even pushing. They're just saying, accept us. We are people too. And yes, we are like wired this way. We don't have to try to pretend to be something we're not just to make you comfortable.
Yeah.
And that is not hatred toward anything decent and good. What they're saying is, actually, you decent and good people, if you are, accept us. And decent and good people do. Yeah. Because they are decent and good too. Most of them, just like straight people. Most people are, I think, decent and good.
Yeah. The amazing thing is LGBTQ people aren't trying to fuck everything all the time.
No.
And they're decent and good people. They care about others and their community around them.
It's inclusive. They're not saying you have to be gay.
The world around them. Yeah.
There's, if you are gay, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
There are people like you.
So this is where it takes a really nasty turn. So inevitably, it turns out against Christians every time. Oh, we're persecuted. False persecution here, which is something you want to talk about in a couple weeks.
Instead of like Christians going, hey, maybe we're preaching hate, and maybe they're reacting to our message of hate instead of, why aren't they drawn to you by your love? Why aren't you known by your love, Christians? You're not. Most of evangelical, or at least these Christian nationalists, they aren't known by their love. They're known by their belief system that is cruel and unkind to others, right? It's very exclusive.
Yep. But it's the poor persecuted Christians. We're just expressing the truth and trying to love on you and tell you how sinful your lifestyle
is. You are, so that you don't go burn in the hell that our God created
on us
people.
With your sinful speech and hatred towards anything good and decent like myself.
Sorry, it's okay. Keep going.
Although they claim to be happy, content, and proud to be who they are, And honestly, they do, but they also are very free about the traumas and the struggles that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
having
They
caused
show
by the Christians in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Internally, they become depressed, angry, and hateful.
No, what happens is, yes, a lot of times they become, not a lot of times, sometimes they become depressed and stuff, but that is because society, which is mostly Christian, pushes on them there's something wrong with them. They are not allowed to be, they have to be something that doesn't feel natural to them. Like,
Yeah.
be straight, marry someone that is of the opposite gender, because that's what we approve of and that's what we say God approves of. And you know what? If God wanted to stop people being, then why do they notice it, first of all, when they're very young a lot of times? And then why does he not stop them from like having interactions with one another?
Yeah.
He doesn't.
No.
But it's man that's trying to legislate it so that they can.
Why didn't Jesus address it?
Yeah, why if it was such a big deal, why didn't Jesus say one word about it? Not one word. And they'll say he does. They'll say certain verses refer to, but that's not what he's referring to. But
and
whatever.
It's Paul and the Old Testament mess, and it's completely mistranslated.
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
misunderstood. But whatever.
The point here. We'll continue
whatever. Yeah.
So in time, this turns into violence or self-harm. Can't say that word on here. We get blocked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, which is precisely what the devil desires.
So basically, this person is saying that because an LGBTQ person chooses to be outwardly LGBTQ.
Yes.
Then they become, they put on a front of being happy and content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And internally they become depressed and angry because of their choice, which is what they're saying. It's a choice, even though it's not. But there may be a choice to come out and actually live fully authentically. Yes, that's a choice, and that usually frees them. But they also comes with the consequence of society pushing back, right? And saying no. And that causes violence or self-harm.
Yeah.
You know, because of the pressure of society. If society would just accept them and love them, the families, and that's even scientifically proven. If you're in a family where they accept you and love you just as you are, and they don't try to put you through, gay camps or whatever those are called, you know, what I can't remember what they're called. Conversion therapy. And they don't make you feel like you can't, date someone of the same sex or whoever you're attracted to, right? They will, and when they don't do that, when they accept you actually fully, there's the self-harm and the violence to themselves goes way down. Right.
So
way down.
We'll continue on to this because this goes even more into it.
Wait, before you go on, why does it go way down when there's acceptance and love? Is that what the devil desires? It's weird that actually there's a benefit in a family where you love and accept them.
Yeah, for who they are.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not talking about that. He just thinks he's just pointing out all the things that seem sad, right?
So continuing on, the incidence of violence and self-harm among gays is extremely high, and it breaks my heart to see these young kids hurting.
Okay, first of all, violence to themselves maybe, but they're not a lot. I don't think the violence amongst each other, the violence to them, yes, because people have been conditioned. But that is a false narrative
that gets put out by the Christian church.
They're not doing violence. Yeah, there may have been some.
I remember hearing it all the time. You know, two gay men. That's the most violent relationship that's ever known, because if they break up, then it's fist and everything else. And that's where a lot of homicides happen, is because two gay men got in a fight.
I think most violence is probably like straight men hurting either one another or women or children.
Mainly straight men and women, and it goes unreported because the woman is fearful.
Yeah, like, come on with that.
So, but it's a thought that they have that this is actually what's happening. It's misinformation put into them. But he's very concerned about this. It is for this reason that Christians preach the gospel, because therein is the answer.
What's the gospel to this person? I'm curious. Is it just don't be LGBTQ? Believe in Jesus and don't be LGBTQ. Well, that's adding to the gospel, actually.
Even though we expose ourselves to ridicule, mockery, and sometimes violence, we do it because we love you. This self-righteous prick.
Yeah.
Okay? You are professing and projecting your own insecurities on these people, something you don't like and don't understand.
We expose ourselves to ridicule, mockery, and sometimes violence. No, that's what the LGBTQ people experience when they come out as authentically themselves, they get ridiculed by Christians, they get mocked, and there is violence against them, which leads
But what
to
this individual's trying to say is all this self-harm is coming out because they won't listen to our message.
Yeah.
To the people we've talked to in the LGBTQ community, when we had Sam on here, and just listening to his struggles of trying to reconcile.
They try to fit in. Yeah.
The feelings he had inside of him, the attractions he had inside of him, and understanding that this was not allowed in the church and the church was pushing it against him, going to a conversion therapy camp, getting abused inside of this, having mental trauma put upon him.
All the while trying to please the God that is saying this.
And he was talking about, I was doing
begging God to take the thing away from them. Yeah.
Doing all the rituals, praying all so much to strip this away from me, take it away, take this burden away from me, and never leaving because it's who they are. It's who they're just who they're designed to be, and fighting against this whole time. Meanwhile, the family and friends and church behind him are like, this is unacceptable. You have to fix this. And he's trying to do everything he possibly can to fix it. And it's not working.
And begging God to take it away. Take away the attractions. Yes. That is what I've heard a lot of them say. Like, I begged God. I didn't want it, you know? And when I was in school, I remember my parents and some of the leaders, religious leaders saying, oh, people just think it's cool to be gay. And so they choose, who the fuck would choose it when it's so hard? Yeah. It's a harder way to live because of the way society treats you. Yeah. And it's the religion that is the biggest.
This self-righteousness of, I am so persecuted for just trying to save these individuals. So they can flip
their self-righteousness, which is actually one of the most 7 deadly, which is arrogance, right? Yeah. Isn't pride? And yet that wasn't mentioned. LGBTQ attractions or same-sex attractions or whatever are not mentioned in the 7 deadly sins, but arrogance, I believe, is one of them. Yeah. And here's this person showing arrogance, but they don't recognize it as arrogance. They think, I have the truth and I'm just trying to give it. Well, how about you go back and read the Bible and actually read it and be open-minded enough to say, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I don't understand it like I think I do. Maybe I'm reading it in a light that I have been taught that is just some man's interpretation. And maybe that's not even actually what it's saying. Yeah. You know? So, but just this failure to recognize the issue and projecting it onto the other people. Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry I'm punching you in the face, but you should stop putting your face in front of my fist. Otherwise, you wouldn't have your face punched in anymore and you wouldn't feel that pain, is what's happening here. Because he's not realizing that you are the cause of the self-harm in the community. Mm-hmm. Your rules and your constant just pushing of, no, this is wrong, and the fight and the inner turmoil Jesus didn't
that
say
you
a
don't
thing
try
about it. God,
to understand.
If he's the God that I was taught when I was evangelical, he could stop it on a dime, and he doesn't. Yeah. The only way people are trying to stop it, Christianity is trying to legislate it. Yeah. They're trying to force it on people that you can't be who you are because they say God is in control of it. Well, then let God just stop each relationship that starts. But he doesn't, because maybe God doesn't have a problem with it. Yeah. And maybe God doesn't exist. Yeah. But either way, never are you told to legislate and make your interpretation. It's really your interpretation of the Bible that you've made God. Yeah. So that's all I got to say on that. Because I
responded to the guy saying, and just basically saying, you're projecting everything. You don't understand the harm you're actually causing in this. Isn't their own inner turmoil that they're doing that's causing it. It's you projecting this all onto them and causing this. I beg you to actually try to get into this community, understand what you're causing to this community. They would be very willing to, there's a lot of them that'd be very willing to explain it to you if you're willing to actually listen and be honest and
willing
open
to listen and
about
be open.
How much harm you're causing this community. Because these people that do the self-harm, almost to the individual, is because of the church and its persecution of these people and what they're putting out. But that's all I got to say. We got to wrap this up because I got to run a child practice. So YouTube, hit it on there, like, subscribe, follow. Appreciate that greatly. 5 stars on Apple, Spotify, whatever you're listening to, helps push us out. And if you want to get a hold of us, in the description, danandcan.com, go on there. You can reach out and get a hold of us there. The quickest we've ever done that.
I know.
But thanks for that. Happy Pride Month. We appreciate you. We accept you. And we're here to be allies for you. And hopefully some of these people would fucking open their eyes and realize the harm and damage they're actually causing this world.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's got to be one at a time, and it's a slow process.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.